Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo, the Dating Advice Guru from datingadviceguru.com. I want to give you more secrets to unlock his heart today on our little video. This is about the truth about men and what to do about it. See, for the most part, guys are going to sleep with a girl that they're attracted to, regardless of what's going on in their mind, okay? And he's probably not going to have some internal monologue like, should I go to bed with her? I mean, I don't know yet if I'm fully committed to her, so I'm kind of on the fence with this whole thing. No, okay? For men, that self-reflection comes after the fact, not before, and especially not during. And I'm not knocking guys down for being that way. That's just how we're hardwired, okay? More often than not, a man is a creature driven by the constant need to achieve some sort of end result. When he's out to make something happen, he's going to put his focus and his energy into that thing until he gets the desired results. It's part of the defining character of guys. That's why I think we manifest so many things physically in the world. Is we have to create with our hands, we have to do and make. And part of that is, well, I guess you could argue this with a lot of psychologists, that it's a sublimation of our sexual desires, but that's our drive, it's our need. So when he does, he's going to think to himself, well, that was fun. Should I do it again, or should I move on to something else? After you sleep with them, this same kind of thinking is likely to kick in, all right? And just to make it clear, this also happens to be the single most important determining factor in your future relationship. The thing about commitment is that it's never a decision you can force a guy to make. The most you can do is guide him towards it, as opposed to a kind of draw the line in the sand approach, okay? So first of all, some commitment do's and don'ts. Without a doubt, he's going to enjoy the sex, all right? Whether it's you did it on the first date, whatever the case may be. But that's not the issue here. And this applies to all people, but it goes doubly for guys. Sleeping with him is by no means a contract for him to stick around, okay? You're not going to lock him down just by virtue of spending the night with him. I've had several girlfriends try the same thing on me, and quite honestly, sometimes I had to say no to that one-night stand just because I knew that I wasn't ready yet, and that she was thinking I probably was, but at the same time, it can mess up that first dynamic in a relationship. From a guy's perspective, he has a few conditions that need to be met before he can make the decision to commit to somebody. All right? Number one is he needs to appreciate the value of your affections. He's got to appreciate it, meaning he's got to value it. Being with you should be a prize he worked for, not something that was handed to him without a fight, okay? Otherwise, he can't value it. And, again, he has this desire to invest himself in the relationship and into the relationship. And that can't be ignored either. When a guy made the team in high school, it was special to him because he had to prove himself before getting picked. If the coach just slapped a varsity jacket on just because he showed up at the tryouts, well, it wouldn't have meant quite as much. That's kind of how dating is for guys as well. If he doesn't get the same satisfaction from winning that chance to be with a gal like you, he won't have that much reason to pursue a long-term relationship. I mean, guys are funny like that, I suppose, but same thing can be said for women. Next up is getting him to stay put. Here's what you do. First, make him feel really great whenever you're together. Focus all your attention on him and make sure you're both having a ball. Okay? So whenever you're with him, let the fun side of your personality shine. Make it a great experience for your guy. He'll want more of it, and that's all the motivation he's going to need to be with you. He just needs to be having fun. On the other side of the coin, you shouldn't constantly check in with him on where you stand or bug him all the time to see you. If you have an attitude that says, "Are you feeling that chemistry yet?" well, he's not likely to feel that with you, okay? It's kind of self-defeating. Instead of pressuring him, stay chill and pull back every now and then. Don't be too available, all right? And don't be available to see him at a moment's notice if he asks for it. You're not a firefighter on call, okay? You just got to keep living your own life and stick to your own daily schedule. Make some time for him here and there, but don't drop your other commitments. It's tempting, I know. This is one of the big mistakes that many women make, and it's one of the ones I have to advise against. Your temptation is to jump in wholeheartedly and make this relationship happen, but it doesn't happen because you're there all the time for him, all right? It's too much. Let him make plans in advance and let him know whether the time works for you or not. Above all, don't agree to see him at weird hours. You know, that's the perfect antidote to the infamous booty call. You're trying to set the bar here for good behavior that will keep him at his best and make sure he respects the time that you do spend with him. If he sees that you're bending over backwards to accommodate him, he'll simultaneously find it kind of off-putting and suffocating, and you won't want to be with somebody who's too intense and doesn't have a sense of balance. Sure, there are players, right? But that doesn't mean there aren't men who don't want to commit given the right conditions. As a matter of fact, most guys will, but those conditions have to be set up by you. And yes, there's always a risk involved. There's a risk of him not wanting to stay or not finding the relationship worth his time. But anything worthwhile doesn't come that easily. And that's the whole point. Nothing awesome in life, like a healthy relationship, for example, falls out of the sky. It needs to be cultivated and cared for so that it can blossom. So it comes down to playing the game right. Oh, and if you're worried about sleeping with them before you feel you're ready, you can adjust the escalation level based on what you do and don't do. In fact, guys unconsciously want you to call the shots. You're the gatekeeper. They just don't have that same calibration when it comes to sex, so you've got to be able to make sure to give him the right cues. So things like keep your jokes within PG-13 territory early on. Okay, if he goes into R-rated stuff, which is a way of kind of seeing how far you're willing to take it and, you know, where he can go. It's kind of a test. Steer the conversation back around so he doesn't get any ideas. Here's another tip. No guy comes up to a girl's place at midnight thinking it's just for coffee or to admire her CD collection, all right, or her music collection. So it's best to avoid getting trapped into any position that might make him think you're ready when you really aren't. Also, keep your exchanges of affection out of isolated areas. You know, like, I don't know, if you're in the car with them, make them feel that you're with him with a little kiss or hug, but avoid letting it escalate by not being alone. That's all you got to do. Make sure it's kept public. Restaurants, movie theaters, or anywhere with people around are good places, for instance, and you can control the level of intimacy that you're going to entertain. So the message you should be getting across is that he's in good standing, but you need to take time to take things to the next level. If he's cool with that, he'll get the hint and he'll stick around. And, well, you know what? Don't sweat it if he isn't. If anything, it just means you're meant for somebody else who actually is going to value you. It's the ultimate statement of economics within relationships is how much we value the other person, and that is purely decided based on how they handle themselves, how she or he handles himself for that matter. You judge his confidence by it, and he judges your quote-unquote neediness or lack thereof. I know how tricky it can be to figure out what's going on in a guy's head. And if you knew for sure, well, it'd be much easier to decide how you move forward, right? You want to be able to read him. But sometimes you just don't know if he's truly interested or not. Fortunately, I do have a way for you to read him like a book, and it's as easy as checking out this fantastic new little class I put together. Go on over to datingadviceguru.com. And right after that, after datingadviceguru.com, put /read his signals. Read his signals. Go to www.datingadviceguru.com /read his signals. Read his signals. Go on over there. It's a great class. At the very least, go on over and sign up and get on my newsletter because I'll give you a great free bonus over there at datingadviceguru.com. Either way, you win. It's all yours. Go on over. I'll talk to you again soon. This is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. I look forward to talking again soon. Checking. 1, 2, 3.